Wife demanded a divorce for her wealthy lover, but then he lost everything, and she wanted me back. I 32 am married to my wife 27F for almost 6 years now. We've been together for 8 years and 3 months. We are living together for 7 years now. It was, in my opinion, always great. I really feel like we were the perfect couple. We both have a car, good jobs, stable finances, and we bought a house 5 years ago. February 2022 I unfortunately, very unexpectedly, lost my mother to a heart attack. What followed were very rough months, for me but also for my wife who was also very close to my mother. And by rough I mean really rough. In 6 months' time we only went out like 2 times, we always stayed in just relaxing on the couch and chilling, watching TV. I wasn't, due to circumstances, happy, but I expected we would get through this. D-Day as I see everyone call it, was 5 weeks ago. My wife went out drinking with 3 male friends from work about 5 minutes away from our house. I was like okay cool, but I'm going to bed soon. Middle of night 0:30 she came home, with the 3 guys, I know all of them, and said she was going out in the city with them. I didn't like it, but couldn't stop her. Everything closes at 4 o'clock but even though it's a 15 minutes ride she came home at 5:30? That's when my suspicions began, even though before this night I never mistrusted her. Today 4 weeks ago she left the entire Sunday, said she was going to some carnival with her mom. I did not trust it, but what can you do? She even left without saying goodbye, while I was taking a shower. Later that day when she came home she entered our house crying. My first response was, honey, come here, what happened? Did something happen? What's got you so upset? Her literal first words at that moment were I want a divorce. After that we talked a bit about it, both very emotional. I straight up asked her if she cheated, but she said no. She told me she's been unhappier for a longer period of time and hence the divorce. She literally never told me something was wrong with our relationship, so this came as a complete shock to me. Anyway, after the talk she left and she lives at her mom's house now. 4 days later I saw her again because we had a dog for which I alone cannot take care of, and neither can she at her mom's house. So our dog stays at an aunt's house now. Anyway, because I saw her I confronted her about cheating again, and this time she admitted it. She told me she cheated on me for the entire week since she went drinking until the week later when she left home. She said she thinks she is in love with him. I asked what's so great about him and the only thing she says is yes, we have a good connection/spark. So that's it I suppose. She also said she feels like she is going through some sort of midlife crisis. Doesn't know what to do with her life, doesn't know what she wants. In my opinion she's going crazy, she died, don't know if this is the correct word, sorry, her hair purple? And all out of nowhere she signed up for lessons to drive a motorcycle. The first week or maybe 2 weeks after I tried reconciling, if that's the right word, but she wouldn't budge. Every serious message I sent her gets straight up ignored. Casual messages I do get a reply on, but it's short responses with arrogance I guess? I seriously do not recognize my wife anymore. Her personality seems to have changed in literally 1 week time. She is treating me as if I never existed in her life and like I'm some piece of garbage. Is this some kind of defense mechanism to make it easier for her, pushing her problems towards the future? Or could it be she really changed and feels this way now? How on earth is this possible? I mean I know falling in love is an awesome feeling, but what happens with her in a few months when the honeymoon phase with this guy is over and she really wakes up from it all? I've been experiencing a lot of mixed feelings. Really a lot. I resent her for the fact she cheated on me and I'm really disappointed. But I also realize and know that the fundament, basis of our marriage was always great. From D-Day to today we are 5 weeks further. She is still not officially filed for divorce, and neither I have L. I'm not sure but I'm fairly certain she is still seeing the guy she cheated on me with. To be honest at this moment I'm torn between wanting to save our marriage and just ending. At this moment I honestly do not care if we get back together or if we divorce. So I honestly don't know what to do. If I file for divorce now I might regret this in the future for being too fast I suppose. But I also cannot keep living in this sort of limbo in which I am officially still married, but she already left. Edit, the first 4 days after she left I was still not sure whether she was cheating on me or not. Those days were the absolute worst, because yes those days I felt extremely guilty and felt like I messed it up. But after she admitted the cheating those feelings started to fade away. And even though I might be to blame somewhere, our marriage ending is 100% her fault. She never showed me she wasn't happy, she looked happy Popu, would make a good actress, she never talked about being unhappy and what should change. And then to top it all she cheated and continues to do so. This is done. I do not anymore believe there is a way back from this. Also at the moment I do not even miss her. Sure sometimes I still miss who and what we were as a couple, but this woman she's become? Honestly I almost feel sorry for the next guy whose heart she is, inevitably, going to break. Honestly my mom's passing I'm dealing with quite well. Of course I have other concerns etc. at this moment, but still. I was really just getting out of the down and crawling back up, wanting to go outdoors, have drinks, have fun, ride my motorcycle etc. But yes then she cheated and kicked me back in the ravine, sort of speak. It'll be fine with time. Must admit I am really not looking forward to the holidays. No mom. No wife. My dad is alone after 40 years of marriage. But we'll deal with it. Life goes on and on. Luckily I do have a very sweet sister and a very good group of friends who I've known for over 20 years. I am nowhere near ready to dive into single life again. But somewhere I'm also a bit excited. It's been more than 8 years since I dated. More than 8 years since I've gone out without checking with my partner. Of course I fell as deep as possible this year, but I truly believe there are good times to come. One of the Redditor is absolutely right about us marrying too young. I was 26 when we married, she was 21. I haven't changed all that much in those years, but it might indeed be that she has changed a lot and suppressed those feelings for a long time. Note, she herself said she feels like she has a midlife crisis. Those are not my words, but hers. To go a bit more in depth about mutual interests, hobbies, traits, etc. All I said in the post is that we had a stable life. I didn't go in depth because I didn't think it would matter all that much, and besides the post is already quite long. But here goes, hobbies and interests. We both like gaming, but we actually never play together. At the moment I'm into Age of Empires 4 playing on my PC. And then she would play The Witcher on PS4. We both liked watching a good Netflix show. Especially since mom died, we did that a lot. But even before that we both rather stayed in together to watch a good movie, instead of going out drinking. We did occasionally go out to the cinema, pooling, and approx once or twice a month we went out for dinner. We both like motorcycles. I have my license and a bike, she did not. She always loved sitting on the back seat of the bike riding passenger. When she was young her dad also took her on rides on his bike. But apparently now she also wants her own license and bike. Did not know. We both like spending time with our families. Usually every other Sunday we would hang out at either her mom's plus stepdad, her dad plus stepmom, or at my father's house. We liked driving to some nice nature and forests and took our dog with us and going for walks. Personality traits, I liked how impulsive she could be. Well, apparently she's too impulsive. But okay. I sometimes overthink things too much, thinking about whether we should buy it. Taking into consideration if we really like it, how our finances are at that moment, etc. She would just buy it in a snap, or book that vacation I was having doubts about. I really like that. On this we are complete opposites, I realize. I think, she does. Loved her humor. We really have an amazing connection with humor. We have exactly the same dry, corny humor and we always had fun together. I loved her honesty and how straightforward she always was. Until thing went downhill she would always tell me how she felt, what she liked and didn't like. For example, about 4 years ago I got addicted to a video game. I at that time didn't notice I was doing anything wrong. But after a few weeks she told me I wasn't making her happy and I really had to put more attention towards her and our relationship. Which I did. I then cut down the gaming to a bare minimum. Bro. I love the way she talks, the way she walks, the way she laughs. I love her looks, she has an amazing crap. I loved it that when she sneezes it's always 8 to 10 sneezes in a row. But as off right now all those feelings I had/have are rapidly fading away. As for our life I can be pretty short. We didn't have all that much. I'd say an average of 2 times per month since we were married. In my opinion it was always good though, not sure about her opinion on the matter. Now that I'm thinking of it, we always both climaxed, unless she faked, but I don't think so, but the itself wasn't all that exciting. We'd usually do the same 3 to 4 poses and that's it. Update 1, okay, so yesterday I made some calls. In the Netherlands we have something called a mediator. They handle all aspects of divorce. So this mediator does the lawyer's work, financial, emotional talk, etc. It's like an all-in-one kind of person that helps 2 people with arranging the divorce. Today we had the talk with this mediator. Unfortunately my soon-to-be ex's car broke down, so I had to pick her up. And yes, I really had to. For this all to work and get the divorce through this mediator, it is crucial that both me and my soon-to-be ex are at the meetings with him. Anyway, talk went pretty good in the way I expected. We both expressed our feelings about wanting to get divorced, but the infidelity was never mentioned. This mediator is neutral and does not pick side, so I did not think it was worth mentioning. Also in the Netherlands we have no laws against cheating. She still has the same rights that she would have had if she did not cheat. So after the mediator left we are still sitting together at the table, barely talking. Only distraction we have is from our cats running around. So after a few minutes I ask her have anything left to say? To which her response was no. So I said okay then I think you can go now, because I don't want you here. Okay, can you take me home? I said no, how you're getting home is your own problem. I am not in the mood to drive 30 minutes taking you home. After this she looked a bit emotional. I think she expected me to drive her home, as normally in the past I did everything for her. So after that she called her mom who's picking her up in about an hour from now. She is out of the house now. She said I'm going to take a walk for about an hour until mom gets here to pick me up. While she left she still looked hurt and visibly emotional. But while I'm staying strong, I still notice a lot of strange behavior on her part and I think she is still in the affair fog. Despite everything, I still love her for who she was, but for now I'm staying strong and I'm treating her as if she means nothing to me. Edit. Actually, as of right now she doesn't mean anything to me. She simply is not the woman anymore that I loved and was loyal to. Edit. I have a question, but it requires a bit of backstory. I've worked as a driver at a transport company, let's call it Supertrans, for 11 years. 4 months ago I quit that job and started a new job at another transport company. I got my WW a job at this Supertrans about 1.5 years ago. She works at the office there, I was a driver. I also know her AP, as he works in the warehouse at Supertrans. Because I've worked there for 11 years I also know everyone that works at Supertrans's office. Everyone liked me, and I was best friends with some of the dispatch guys. As far as I know my previous coworkers, her current coworkers do know that we are getting divorced. But as far as no one knows that she has an affair with AP who works in their warehouse. My WW direct coworker who works at the desk next to her is a gay, 32-year-old guy who was also present at the night out when my wife cheated. I will call him Thomas. He left early though. He was one of my favorite people at their office, and he also liked me a lot. My WW has vacation now, and will start working again next Monday. I know Thomas likes me a lot and would wish only the best for me. I'm now very strongly thinking about sending a message to Thomas, explaining what happened and all. And also revealing the affair to him, of course. I want to tell him just to warn him that my wife has no morals and cannot be trusted. I mean, Thomas has to work with her every day. I want him to know what kind of person my WW is. And I also intend to tell him about who the AP is, because Thomas was also going out with them the night WW cheated. So I want Thomas to know how big off a crap without morals the AP is. And yes, I do realize this may seem like I want to take some sort of revenge. And I suppose I do. This woman has put me through hell a few weeks ago. I would love to hear about her having a crap day at work next Monday because all her coworkers know she betrayed me and has an affair. For real, everybody liked me. I've known most of her office for plus 10 years. Besides, I get to decide who I tell about her cheating and who not. So okay, basically this isn't a question. I wanted to ask, should I do this? But I think I've already made up my mind. Would like to hear what y'all think about it and why I should or shouldn't. Update 2. You all have been an amazing help in my situation. I must admit I'm feeling very tired mentally, but apart from that I'm doing better than I would have expected after only 6 weeks. I have a question about my soon-to-be ex-wife's current behavior. Is it normal that my wife, soon-to-be ex, treats everyone around her like trash? Well, except for her AP and her own parents, I suppose. She is obviously treating me bad. She is treating me with zero respect and as if I was the worst husband ever. She claims she's been unhappy for several years, which I believe is complete crap. Anyway, to be honest, I don't care about what she's doing to me anymore. It's her life she's destroying. Not mine. But it's also affecting other people. My father sent her the sweetest message he had ever sent in his entire life and she didn't even reply with a thank you, just nothing. After my mom passed last February, my wife would regularly take my dad to an amusement park that's close by. They both have subscriptions for it so they could go quite often. My dad really loved her a lot and I'm watching him age by the hour now. Which really hurts me. And my soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't even send a thank you. Nothing at all. She left him on read. She was also, and said she wanted to remain, very good friends with my younger sister, but they haven't been in touch for several weeks. Also, my wife was supposed to spend a day today with her best friend who is a mutual friend of ours, but now she is ignoring her. Her best friend sent several messages to her yesterday if today was still on, but wife sent no reply. Didn't even read her messages. She also didn't pick up the phone. So today they were supposed to meet. Same story. She doesn't pick up the phone. Her BFF sent one more message asking if she was still coming. No reply. She didn't even read the messages, while her WhatsApp status shows she's been online after she sent them. Needless to say, her BFF has been crying all day. She took the day off to spend with my wife to go shopping and having fun, and now this? Is this in any way normal behavior for someone in a fair fog, or could this be something else? I don't care what my wife is doing, I'm done with her. But this is just so incredibly sad for her BFF. She's been crying on her couch all freaking day because my wife treats her like this. While I'm typing all this, another question comes to mind, but I think I already know the answer. My soon-to-be ex-wife is going around telling people we split up because we grew apart and she hasn't been happy for several years. I suppose this actually is normal for a cheater? To tell everyone excuses and not being honest about what happened and how they fell in love with someone else? Oh, I almost forgot something that I believe is really important. Her BFF, our mutual friend, actually lived with us for about 6 months, from about November 2021 until April 2022. She just got out off a really bad relationship and had nowhere to stay. We have a spare room, so we took her in. Anyway, my wife and BFF literally talking about everything. Including our relation and life. Everything. I speak to her BFF every day and she has been super sweet and totally honest with me. I asked her if any of what my wife said could be true, about not being happy with me for a longer period of time. BFF says it's all lies. Never has my wife ever spoken about it or said a single word to her about being unhappy with me. And keep in mind, they told each other everything. But not a single word about being unhappy. So either my soon-to-be ex-wife is just blatantly lying now, I don't know why, maybe to justify her cheating on me and abandoning our marriage? Or perhaps she kept her unhappy feelings a secret for literally everyone except herself? I honestly don't know, but from my experience I never noticed her unhappy with me, and BFF also agrees with his. Many thanks again everyone. The support is amazing, and I would not have been where I am now if it wasn't for your support. Edit, well I sincerely hope karma is going to hit her hard, rather sooner than later. Also everyone that's reaching out to me about why we are getting a divorce, I tell the truth about her being a selfish cheater. Just yesterday a female friend showed me texts between my wife and her. The conversation went something like, "Oh my god, honey, is it truth you and husband are separated?" Yes, sadly this is the truth. Oh my god, no, what happened? Yeah, well we just grew apart for the last few years and have different goals in life. We decided to end it. Needless to say I corrected this and told our friend this is not truth. I told her my wife cheated on me, fell in love, she claims, and left me for another man. Everyone that hears the truth from me is shocked by the way. No one, including me, would have ever thought my wife would do this. Update 3, we'll make a new post in a few weeks I think. For now, I'm okay. Once I realized she is out there living her life without me, I started doing the same. I talked to my soon-to-be ex-wife several times and the conclusion seems to be, she still loved me, but it wasn't fun anymore. Not strange since my mom unexpectedly died in February. She claims to be in love with AP but with no strings attached. I never noticed anything about her being unhappy with me, and she even said she was not unhappy with me, but with life in general. So basically what I believe happened is she cheated, got feelings for AP and left me for him. After that became clear I made the choice to let her go and focus on myself. At this point I honestly don't care about what she's doing and whether she'll come back or not. I'm fine either way. Work is going great. I joined a gym, to which I've been going 3 times a week, my muscles hurt. And I've been talking to this amazing girl which I knew from childhood. And even though it's only friendship, I am really glad to have a female friend with whom I can talk about it all. She lost her dad last year, so even on the topic of losing a parent, we can relate. So yeah, I'm okay. As for the divorce, we had to gather a lot of documents and they have been sent to this mediator. We are now waiting to hear back from him to schedule our next meeting and proceed with the divorce. As of right now I've already made the decision that the divorce is happening. If soon-to-be ex-wife comes back or not, divorce is going to happen because the marriage itself is over for sure. Update 4, we are going to sign our divorce papers and make it official 4 days from today. This is going to be a long post as I haven't updated for about 4 months. Well, I made some mistakes along the run and also made some moves that got me my power back and made me respect myself again. For starters I can say that now, 5 months after the tie and the initial shock I hardly even think about the cheating anymore or am affected by it. So for anyone going through a rough time, please trust me it does get better and time really is on your side. So, after the cheating and our breakup I made mistakes. I begged and pleaded, got mad, frustrated and really felt totally out of control and as if she had lost her mind. This lasted for about 2 months unfortunately. After this period I made the decision to quit the whining. I told her I thought about everything a lot and came to the conclusion that I would still be open to seeing her, and talking to her. That I thought there might still be a future for us, but I also told her I couldn't guarantee anything. I have not contacted her myself for the last 3 months. At least not about casual stuff or the relationship. The only things I reached out about were things regarding our upcoming divorce/financial/mutual house. I did not just sit around and wait during the last 3 months. I am now 32 years old and for the first time in my life I went to the gym to work out. Muscle building to be exactly, as I have always been on the skinny side. I have been hitting the gym with full discipline. I train 4 times a week and have been doing so for the last 3 months. I am also seeing an increase in my muscle and aesthetics, but this goes further. Not only does the gym better my physical appearance, it also helps mentally. At first I started working out to keep myself busy and distracted. But now, 3 months in, I look better and I feel a lot better about myself. I am regaining a level of confidence I didn't even knew I had. So pro tip of the day, when you're going through a rough time, the gym really does seem to work both physically and mentally. Regarding our mutual house. I spoke with the bank and I am able to lend extra money and take on a higher mortgage. I have to pay my ex-wife about $65,000 for the house, but I am able to and I will do it. After signing everything and paying her, I will be 100% the owner of the mutual house, which is worth about $300,000. I am not too happy about having to pay her $65,000, but in the long run I am way better off by owning my own house, which is worth about 5 times that amount. On top of that, she has no own house anymore. She officially lives with her mom again, but I know she's also staying at AP's house a lot. I am not contacting her, so how do I know? I'll get to that. My ex and me have a mutual friend. We never hang out all together, but we do speak regularly. As far as I know, ex left me to be with AP and basically jumped straight into a new relationship. I'm not sure what's going on with my ex, and at times it does seem she actually has lost her mind. I try to keep my mind away from her, but sometimes the mind wanders where it shouldn't go. Also, at this moment I suppose I could call AP by the name BF, because that's basically what he is now. However, I will stick to AP because that's how it started. Anyway, about AP and ex-wife. Karma is a tramp and it's starting to hit hard. When X and AP first got together 5 months ago, all seemed fine for them. However, tables are beginning to turn. AP is currently at home struggling with a depression, which I know for a fact because the mutual friends showed me screenshots of a conversation between ex-wife and her. Also, the AP is currently out of a job. Even when everything first happened with the cheating and all, I always felt better than AP just because of his lack of morals, and I already had to believe he was worthless compared to me. Well, now I know for sure. Which once again makes me feel like my ex-wife has lost her mind. I am not being arrogant, but I am absolutely sure that I am the catch and a way better man than her AP is. Little extra, at the start of their relationship I was still contacting her and warned her. Well, guess I was right all along. Not only does he prove himself to be the loser I already kinda knew he was, he also brought something into her life that can devastate her. She is basically digging her own grave. AP introduced her to hard meds. I know this through the mutual friend. Haven't talked to ex-wife about it. If she wants to ruin her own life, that's her business. But it seems to be going downhill fast. As for my ex-wife, I am certain she is struggling and possibly even doubting her own choices. I hadn't spoke to her or seen her during the holidays, Christmas, New Year's. However, about 1 week into the new year 2023, she out of the blue texted me if I was home and if she could come over. She came over to my house and the visit was short, really only about 5 minutes. She came by to tell me she spent Christmas Day alone, sobbing. She wanted to know how my holidays had been and she asked me how I was doing. I told her my Christmas was okay, but not the greatest. I lost my mom last year and these were the first holidays without mom, so of course it was just okay but not all that great. But I did tell her I was doing great, which I actually am. So yes, for me this was weird. The only thing I can think about this whole visit and why would she care how I'm doing is if she perhaps does have regrets. Time will tell. I also spoke to my ex's mom. Ex-mother-in-law called me after New Year's to wish me a happy new year and to wish me all the best. I must admit I did not expect that call, but it was nice to hear from her because she was family for the last 8 years. Mother-in-law told my ex-wife hasn't been all that great lately. Apparently she is very sad and crying a lot, mourning the marriage. Ex even said to mother-in-law, I wish it wouldn't have to be like this. And once again this implies to me that she is having second thoughts. However, only my ex has the power to reach out and make a move, which at this point I don't see happening anymore. The only power I really have is to give her the divorce she herself asked for, and walk away and stay out of her life. Which I did. I am removing myself from her life, giving her the divorce and bettering myself every single day. Apologies for the long post, but I believe this is about everything I needed to get off my chest. 4 days from now we are signing the divorce papers. And even though I am really doing great, of course I am still only human and from time to time still mourn our marriage and my ex-wife. I hate to see what has become of her, but I am also fully aware that it is out of my control and absolutely not my problem. Let me end this by once again thanking everyone in this community. Many thanks. Without your help I wouldn't have been where I am now. Both mentally and physically.